Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Dose of Dylan, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeart. Why did the music cut out there? iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. Alright, we got some good stuff today. The Patriots released Cam. The Mets gave some they're giving some thumbs down. And ESPN televised a fake high school team. So we got some good stuff today. Alright, so the Pats released Cam. That was pretty shocking to me. I was really sure Belichick and the Pats were going to definitely go with Cam for the starting job. Just because Cam's the veteran, and I thought Mac Jones would at least need a year before he could start. It kind of shocked me that they released him, that they're that all in on Mac Jones, but I think he goes, I would say a good place for him to go, in my opinion, would be the football team. Because, honestly, you got Cam there with Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas, Antonio Gibson will take pressure off of him. You get him there. He's not in a bad position. And he did good before COVID. So, I think, honestly, the football team would be a good spot for him, but he most likely won't go there because they already named his roster starter. So, I think that he might go to the Texans or maybe the Cowboys as a backup. The Cowboys released, what is their names? Is it Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci? They released all of them. And I don't know who their backup is, but getting Cam would not be a bad idea. I'd say Cowboys or Texans is a good spot for him. Alright. So Rajon Rondo returned to the Lakers yesterday, and does this make the Lakers better? Probably. It makes them more experienced. Does it make them older? Yes. Does it make them more interesting? Absolutely. There's a wild amount of experience on this team, and this is definitely the most interesting team in the league. With this signing. Maybe one of the most interesting teams ever. You got a wild amount of experience. 5 future Hall of Famers are on their roster, but I don't think any of them, other than LeBron and AD, are in their prime. And 5 of the players on the roster already played for the Lakers. Dwight Howard. Who else? Dwight Howard already played for them. Rajon Rondo. I'm sorry, there's only 3. The other one is Trevor Ariza. So, 3 Lakers players, 3 signings they had, already played for the Lakers. They have 5 future Hall of Famers. But also, by signing Rondo, they now have Rondo and Westbrook on the same team. Does that mean anything? Absolutely. And I'll tell you the story right now. William Rondo was ejected for talking crap to Russell Westbrook in the bubble last year, in the second round. Alright, he was ejected for talking crap to Westbrook, Rondo's brother. And apparently Rondo was talking crap to him too. But, Russ was all like, oh, I don't play that game, and Rondo said, this is what Rondo said. He didn't say anything crazy, raise his voice and cuss. He called the man trash. As players, we get away with manipulating the game and manipulating referees as if we are being attacked. I've done it in the past. That's what Rondo said. So what he's saying is basically all he did was say Westbrook was trash. And that players manipulate the refs a lot. And I mean, I'm sure it's going to be all good once they get on the same team, but it's weird. Rondo, him and Westbrook, they've butted heads in the past, so we'll see how that goes. But they have 6 of the 11 oldest guys in the NBA. And think about this, like, what would you say if in 2012 I said Rondo, Carmelo, LeBron, AD, who wasn't even, he was in college at the time, but he was the consensus first overall pick. So you got AD on the Lakers, LeBron on the Lakers, Carmelo, Rondo, Dwight Howard, and was Russell Westbrook in also that year? Anyway, all of them are on the Lakers. You would be shocked. But this is the most interesting team in the league. They have 6 of the 11 oldest guys. 3 of them already played for the Lakers once. This is very interesting. Now, are they title contenders? Yes. Are they going to win the title? That's a debate. We are not sure about that. Alright. So, yesterday, the Mets players, Javier Baez and Francisco Lindor, gave thumbs down to the fans for booing them. But, when you're in New York, New Yorkers aren't going to say, like, oh, yeah, we have to do better. And then they're not going to do that. When Stanton got booed with the Yankees after he had a tough start, he didn't give a thumbs down. He just let it go and started playing better, That's what you got to do in New York. You can't just expect them to let it go and just... You're in New York, pal. You're not in Cleveland anymore, Francisco. Or Chicago, for that matter. You're not in any of those. You're in New York. They're not gonna just say, oh yeah, we gotta do better, thanks for the thumbs down. No, it's gonna be a bigger deal. If a New York fan boos you, take that as a warning to get better, or fans are gonna be all over you, trying to get you traded off the team. Alright. I'm gonna go back to the Lakers. The funny thing about them is, health is probably the biggest concern, because they have a bunch of older guys. And out of all these guys, they have all these old guys. They got LeBron, who has been injured 2 of the last 3 years. They got Carmelo, he hasn't had injury problems. And Westbrook, they haven't had injury problems, but, they're older, they have more of a chance of being injured. But the person I'm most concerned about, is a 28-year-old Anthony Davis. They got all these old guys who could get injured, but the biggest concern for me is a 28-year-old Anthony Davis. That is crazy. The biggest concern for me is a 28-year-old Anthony Davis. He's the biggest health concern out of all the old guys. It's crazy to consider that. I mean, what's crazy? AD is closing in on a decade in the NBA. His 10th season. He's closing in on a decade. And he is the second youngest guy on the... Is he? Oh, no. Hold on. He's closing in on a decade, and when Rondo, LeBron, Melo, Westbrook, who else? Dwight Howard. When he was in college, when they were all All-Stars. That's crazy to consider. That's how old this team is. Like, it's you can say experience, and you're not wrong about that. The experience they have is amazing. They have a ridiculous amount of experience, but you can't ignore the fact that this team is incredibly, you can't ignore that about them. They are really old.